Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Business Insider. Egypt is hosting the African Power, Security and Energy Transition Forum. The forum is hosted by the Red Sea resort city of Sharm el-Sheikh in Sinai, and the forum is talking about the roles of utilities, power pools, and governance. This will be our topic for tonight: power security and energy transition in Africa, the roles of utilities, power pools, and governance. And we are delighted to have with us here in the studio Engineer Mohamed Salman, and he is a board member of the Arab Energy Council for Sustainable Development and the expert in the field of energy. A very good evening.
Good evening.
To you, Engineer Salman. It's always a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much. It's
Thank
my
you,
pleasure.
sir. Allow us first, as always, to watch a report
Okay.
about our main topic for tonight, and allow us, dear viewers, to do that and come back to our distinguished guests here in the studio. Stay with us.
Minister of Electricity Mohamed discussed in a meeting on Tuesday with the Minister of Enterprises and Made in Italy, Adolfo Urso, means of boosting cooperation in the fields of renewable energy and green transition. During the meeting, Minister Shaker expressed happiness over the attending a high-level roundtable meeting on green transition and renewable energy in Egypt and lauded the efforts of the Italian government to boost cooperation with Egypt. Egypt and Italy have long historic relations, according to Minister Shaker, who added that Italy now is one of the most important commercial partners to Egypt. Shaker stated that both countries cooperate in a number of fields, including the energy domain. The meeting was attended by high-level delegations from both sides and representatives of a big number of Italian and Egyptian companies operating in the field of renewable energy. Shakir added that the meeting comes in an important stage where the world witnesses transition in energy due to global climate change, which will demand a change in the production shape and electricity consumption for several reasons, including climate change, increasing demand on energy, and technological progress via cooperation between governments, companies, and individuals. Egypt is aware of the importance of renewable energy and its role in the variety of energy sources and achieving sustainable development. Earlier, Egypt has signed several memoranda of understanding in February in the fields of green hydrogen and renewable energy with 7 global developers, with expected investments worth $41 billion over 10 years. The signing of the understanding represents a new step in a series of investment partnerships with major global companies to establish projects in the field of green hydrogen in the Suez Canal Economic Zone.
All right, welcome back, and many thanks to Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdul Hamid for this report. We are back here in the studio with Engineer Mohamed Salman, the expert in the field of energy, and talking about the high-level forum on interconnection of the African energy sector taking place in Sharm el-Sheikh under the auspices of Engineer Mustafa Madbouli, the Prime Minister of the Arab Republic of Egypt. So, Engineer Salman, this is a big event. Egypt is always in the heart of action in Africa. Tell us about the significance of this forum, taking place from the 21st to the 25th. So tomorrow, coinciding, of course, with the Sinai Liberation Day, will be the final day of that forum.
Yes, it's my pleasure to be here with you, really. I am delighted to join you. First of all, let us say congratulations for all Egyptians regarding to the liberation of North Sinai Day. Really, the forum in Sharm el-Sheikh is most important as to cover and to open-minded with African countries. And there is some information really for me was new regarding the Association of Power Utilities of Africa. This declaration has been declared since long time, since 2012. This is include or conclude all the COOs of the utilities in power generation, transmission, distribution. So covered all the stakeholders of the electricity sector. And also they take or some themes. Consider the first one is the power security, which is now, as you see, power security of supply. Then the power supply to be secured and reliable. Even if a certain source have been cut, then there is another source can feed. So this is one most important.
Yeah.
In our region, regarding to the North Africa region, maybe this is not that big deal, but regarding to the sub-Saharan Africa, this is a great deal, and this is most important as access of electricity is very low. So the first theme is the power supply security.
Before you continue with the themes,
Yes.
Engineer Salman, now this forum is organized by the Egyptian and hosted by the Egyptian Ministry of Electricity in collaboration with the African Union of Electricity and Energy Utilities, and is attended by the African Development Bank.
Yes, supported by the
supported by the
yes.
Arab Development Bank, and 35 countries are taking place in it. It's
Yes.
a huge.
Yes, really the association of the utility or power utility conclude all the supply chain of power, starting from power generation and transmission line and distribution. So all these systems, the companies are working in these systems, are sit together to declare and to see the common challenges in Africa area. The specialist of this or the particular characteristics of this forum, that it is included only for or special for Africa. It is not international conference. It is only for Africans, our continent. So it is important to discuss the common challenge. What are the common challenge? How we can collaborate together, how we can build a partnership and a strategic alliance with the countries. First theme is the power security supply.
Right.
Second theme regarding to the resilience. If some regarding to the supply chain resilience, and also the governance and accountability. This is also most important factor that should be considered, and the capacity building with the technology transfer. Egypt has a great expertise in the power system. So it is now the time to open with the Africa.
Right.
Really Africa, maybe it's poor, there is no big fund, but there is a material and raw material. There is a raw materials that Europe, States, China, India, that they use these raw materials. So we can make this exchange and trade off with the Africans by selling electricity, importing natural gas or other raw materials. So this should be considered now. Egypt will to take that approach to open with Africa. This is a great issue. You can see also that the Tanzanian high dam, it's engineered, constructed, and by the construction Egyptian companies. And also the engineers of Egypt are
all over Africa.
involved in that. I have also experience with the team from Nigeria, for example. Nigeria is more than 200 million population. How many people are there? They have electricity very low. What's the installed capacity? The installed capacity of Nigeria also around 15 giga. The 15 gigawatt for 200 millions. This is not enough.
So there is room for expansion really in that sector, the electricity sector in Africa, and you believe Egypt could easily have a role there?
Not easily. It's a challenge. But the diplomatic way with the technical should go through parallel, and to Africa has a good respect to Egypt and a good relation with Egypt. So why we didn't take that advantage? And we already in the same way, but it is not in the same capacity or in the expected fast tracking to work on that. So such a forum has been held in Sharm el-Sheikh. This is perfect forum to make this, what's the common challenge, how we can collaborate together, how we can, the industrial products from Egypt to be exported to that area, and also at the same time, how we can collaborate with them. We can import some raw materials from Africa. So this is a good point to work on that. Yes.
Can we take together the themes of the forum or the conference one by one and talk about them one by one? The power security and energy transition, the roles of utilities, power pools, and governance.
Yes. First of all, let us say regarding to the power security.
Yes.
Or secure power supply.
Yeah.
This can be mentioned by this way. Secure power supply, that the customer should have electricity continuously without any interruption. The power provider, if there is any interruption, he should make the management and diversify the supply of electricity. If it is steam power plants or gas turbines or diesel engine, whatever the supply, or even the most important now, the PV system and wind. The solar energy.
The environment-friendly means.
Yes. This is one point. Also, let us say, if we mention this point, regarding to the CSP. CSP now, most important issue, and we can start with the CSP, concentrated solar power plants, because it is dispatchable power source, because the PV system is non-dispatchable. I want to address one point regarding this. What's the dispatchable and non-dispatchable? Dispatchable, that you can use it when you want, and how much you need, you can increase, then you can use. But non-dispatchable, what's generated by the source, you can use or not use. Okay, so there is no control for generate a certain quantity or about the dispatchable. You can have this control. So this advantage is with the CSP. PV, no. And wind also no. What have been generated by PV system, photovoltaic system, or by wind, okay, use it or not use it.
Or not.
Yes. So to resolve this issue, you should start with the storage system. Then once you have the storage system, then it becomes a dispatchable. You can make this control. So
understood.
Yes. So this is for the power supply secure.
Yes.
how to secure the power supply to the customers. Also regarding to the
operational and supply chain resilience.
yes, resilience also, that means if there is any problem, you can the resilience to overcome this problem and return back to set the same way. So it is also the resilience now regarding to the supply chain. Supply chain now, you can see all the challenges all over the world. You cannot take a certain time to receive certain material from China or from India or even from the source of fuel. So due to these wars here and there. So how you can make this supply chain management, and you can see now the insurance is raised to a certain value regarding to these wars. So this should be considered and risk mitigated among these stakeholders' involvement and engagement, so they can decide how we can resolve this issue regarding to the resilience.
Right.
Okay.
The strategic partnership and industrial sector growth.
Yes, this is the industrial sector and partnership. Really, I read a good news from Egypt that the percentage of the exported industrial products has been raised more than 48% in the first quarter of 2024. So this is good news that we have the capabilities that we can increase our products to other countries. So this is one issue. Open new market, African market. Why we leave African market to another countries and we stay standalone? Why? We should open the market, and we already have such market, but some of them is in private sector. We need the country, the public. Let me give you one example.
Yes.
By 2004, I have been selected to be a consultant engineer with ASESCO, which is Arabian Consultant Service company. This ASESCO is Egyptian-Libyan company for consultation. Once Libya needs to build power plants, needs to build transmission lines, even desalination,
It resorts to Egyptian experts.
then they go to ASESCO, this company, this consultant company inside Libya. But this is 51 of Libya ownership, and 49 from Egypt. So this a great experience. At that time, 2004, the
20
consultation
years ago exactly.
Yes,
20 years
yes,
ago.
20 years ago. The consultation job should be provided by foreigners, by Bechtel, for example. Okay, so once we were there and do the job perfectly and in good way, that for example, I was a project control engineer and responsible engineer, then site construction manager of power plant and site construction manager of desalination plant. This successful case should be repeated as have been discussed and implemented in Libya. Why we didn't expand to another countries in Africa? Ownership and consultation job there. We have the experience, but we need the decision, the executive to take this experience and transfer it to another African country.
So we can export our expertise to Africa. This will be a win-win situation.
100%. And this is once they have the ownership also, and you have a part of this ownership, this is a good issue. And I expect also the fund institutions will maybe share with you also. So this is a good opportunity. resale or to sell your expertise or expats to African countries. This is most important issue. Partnership also, as I see the many private sectors also make partnerships with companies in Africa, maybe in there is some in Cote d'Ivoire, some in Zambia, some many successful cases. Successful cases has been there. And as we are looking forward to cross-border energy trader, liberalization of the electricity sector, because the public companies or the government cannot fund all these such projects. So liberalization of the electricity sector now is most important issue. So developer can be also interfere or can peer the fund and implement such projects.
Right. Among the themes were the capacity building, knowledge and technology transfer. What about
this? Is our
point?
playground. Really, this is our playground. This is this Egyptian playground. There is centers of excellence in training. I've been as the managing director of Extra High Voltage Research Center in Egypt, EHC. At that time, we provided tens of training courses for African. EHC has trained more than 9,000 of Africans. So capacity building and technology transfer with the consultation companies, okay? But capacity building can be done with the training center. So this is also a great opportunity to Egypt to make the leadership in Africa.
Right. The governance.
Governance and accountability and the compliance officer, this is really most important issue. Also the ESG, environment, social responsibility, and governance, this is makes the companies in a good reputation, stakeholders engagement, and make attraction to the investors. Once a certain transparency to a certain company, that makes the direct fund of foreign funds can be poured to these companies. Right. So governance is most important to make the investors not worry about his money, and also the stock also the exchange and the stock market. The stock market depend on the governance. If there is a governance, all the companies, there is no conflict of interest. There is anti-corruption committees. So this is makes the foreigners or the fund trust the market, so they can pour a lot of money without worry about their money, because issues is in a transparent way. And also there is a balance statement also distributed in a certain periodic time, and it is online. You can go to the online and see. It is not easy that the committee to take their decision. They should to go through a certain procedures. That this is most important. Also in Egypt we have governance. We have several companies comply with these procedures, but still needs a lot of effort due to the governance of the public companies.
Right. Now, Engineer Salman, what are the obstacles facing interconnection, energy interconnection in Africa? Some of the obstacles and how to overcome them.
It is really from North Africa. There is no problem. It's already connected, and Morocco connected with Spain. And in here we mentioned that this connection or interconnection between Morocco and Spain was built in the beginning to import electricity from Spain to Morocco. Later on, Morocco make a great effort and a good contribution to the electricity of renewable energy. Then now they export electricity to Spain. So this one way. And another way from Egypt now to Cyprus or to the Greece, and this is under study, and connected to the Jordan also is there, and connected to Libya. So North Africa interconnection looks like a Mediterranean pool is okay. And also there are another 4 regions: West African, East African, and South African power pool, and there is one more. Okay, so central, I think,
Yeah.
central.
Yes.
So these power pools regions, there is a trade among these companies, these countries, and we are looking for to make this interconnection.
How long will it take? I mean, for this to be complete? Decades?
Decades,
I mean,
yes,
the way
maybe. It is
the way you
2050.
Okay.
2050 to make a one market, electricity market to Africa, maybe 20.
Are we on that track? I mean, is work being done really to achieve that goal, or is this just some sort of dream or aspiration?
It is so far it's a vision so far, but it's in progress. But really fund because such market needs
a lot of
fund and billions of dollars. One more issue regarding to Africa, regarding to the safety and peace, because I know some countries they take the electricity. The losses in this network reached 50%, and even in certain countries in Africa
50%.
more than 50, because the people just connect with the electricity and use it. Okay, because and even in Egypt it's around 22% of losses. So it's high also.
It's a high number, yeah.
It's still high. So this is one challenge of this
The
or
interconnection,
obstacles,
yeah.
yes, of interconnection. And also as we mentioned, this fund needs a lot of that interconnection. While I was in Minister of Electricity long time ago, there is one vision to make a transmission line from Cairo to Cape Town, South Africa. This length is around 6,400 kilometers. So can be connected by high voltage DC transmission line. And the technology can be done, no problem. But who will fund? How make this trade and how make the visibility of this, but it is a backbone to connect all the African in one market. So this is also...
Does the political will exist all across Africa for such a vision, or in most African countries?
It looks like there is a waking up in Africa now. Really, I surprised regarding to the certain the president of a certain country. They said once to be convinced by company from Europe regarding to the to climate change. So, what's the share of Africa to the climate change? Not more than 3%.
Yeah, Africa is not harming the globe.
No, not all.
But it receives most of the harm.
But this president said, You tell us we should use the renewable energy and to make zero carbon and something like that. Okay, no problem. But you should fund us. Then the European company said, but to prevent the increase of temperature of the climate, and you should fund by your resources. Said, why we didn't harm the globe? You harm the globe. You and USA, really. The share of African person regarding to the carbon footprint is 0.8 ton per year, per person. 0.8. Compared to 16.2 of USA footprint.
Oh, amazing.
It's
Amazing.
yes.
That's more than 20 times.
Yes, more than.
Yeah.
More than. So, we need a fund from US, from Europe, to and from the even China now, as they also has a great impact in the
Global
emissions and high emissions. Yes. So to support and to help the African countries, please make a fund to the African countries to build this.
When Egypt, which does have the political will, organized COP27 in November 2022.
23.
No, 2022.
22.
Yeah,
Yes, 22. Yes.
In November 22.
Yes. In Sharm el-Sheikh also.
Yes.
In Sharm el-Sheikh.
Yes. There were these calls, and Egypt was speaking on behalf of Africa.
Yes.
We need the funding to, to limit the harm that Africa is faced with, although it is not the one causing this problem. You mentioned the US, China, and some of the most advanced, industrially advanced countries are the ones doing this. Yeah.
At that time, Egypt raised the matter, and I remember that the conference delayed one day, okay, to convince and to approve the decision that they reach. But
and it was the first time that such calls for reparations were made.
This is the reason I told you that the African countries start to waking up.
Yeah.
Yes, and to understand the game, to understand the game. Really, it is important. Okay, we can use the renewable energy. That's great to our globe. Okay, but please support. And even at least give me the fund, okay, give me a loan, okay, without any percentage or rate or something like that.
Yeah.
So this is one issue. But what's the fund now of this COP27? Does it raise this fund?
We haven't heard of money being delivered.
No, I don't think so. Most of countries also still
just
not
make
big.
the vows, but rarely commit
yes,
to the vows.
This is the point, really.
Engineer Salman, finally, surely a connectivity plan for electricity in Africa would be of great importance to the continent and of great economic benefit and social benefit and so on. Talk to us about this.
Really, regarding to the socio-economic, due to this interconnection and connectivity among the countries, this will make a good opportunities to new employees or employment. And also this will raise the economy of the states. And why each country build all power plants and transmission line and distribution, okay, they should. But why we build power plants? If, for example, Egypt has a surplus of that, okay, of power plants. So we can export 20 giga If we can import the natural gas from a certain state or country, from Nigeria, from Senegal, from any African country, then we can generate this and exchange this natural gas to electricity and support and export it. So the states can depend on a neighbor state, another state, and no need to build new power plants. If this country has the power, the sufficient power plants and surplus of power plants. So this is also microgrid or smart grids and the mini grids also can mix components, and this will increase also the economy of the states.
All right. Always pleasure to have you with us, Engineer Mohamed Selim Salman, the board member of the Arab Energy Council for Sustainable Development and expert in the field of energy. Thank you very much for being with us, and we hope to see you.
Thank you. Really the pleasure of mine, and thank you very much for this.
Sir.
It's open window to our viewers. Thank you very much for you and for your attention.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Engineer Salman. And thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. This is Mohamed Abdelrahim. This is goodbye.